That was really cool.
Like that?
Are we recording?
That was music that I made up for the show.
Oh,
Are we
very
recording?
clever.
Are we recording?
We're recording. So,
Rocks.
when we last left our hair, we're gonna do a little quickie flashback here to the crap going across the waving leaves of the verdant sea.
Verdant.
The verdant sea. So the open green waves, and then this, as far as the eye can see, and Petrichor looking out over that from the observation deck and kind of getting this look in her face, like this look of frustration and determination, and pulling a chart out and spreading it across this like little round table up on the observation deck and spreading it out, looking out at this nothingness of this never-ending stretch of trees, and bending down over the map and going, a grove of twisted trees, and it kind of, the sound going across the map and the ink of the map kind of running from various other parts of the drawing of the map together to make a drawing of a grove of twisted trees there in the center of the map. And then looking up and seeing that grove now on the near horizon.
Let's go.
And then hearing the bell ringing from down on the lower deck as Charybdis spots these trees in the distance and starts ringing the,
Tree bell.
It's on me. I have the bell.
you just have a bell mounted on your shoulder.
Yeah.
Ding dong.
No, it's like in some side compartment in my shin. And you just like,
You just do a little ditty in your
Anyway,
check the plane, bang, bang.
so, couple questions. You're one of the rootless traveling ship people.
Oh, oui.
Why have your people been looking? What is the rumor or the myth or the legend of the Grove of Twisted Trees that have had people looking for it for so long?
It's said to be a magical place. It's a great place to, everyone in my family who's ever gone there has picked up a whisper of some kind. A very powerful whisper that they've...
Oh, a place of whispers.
Yes, it's a place of whispers, mainly. There's also valuable, supposedly, hidden maps and treasures that have been undiscovered for centuries, that the earliest of the ardent settlers...
This is like being in a D&D game. It's like, why is this dungeon important? Because it has many thousands of unguarded treasure chests in it. Like, you're just like...
There's nothing there except for good things.
The leaves are actually made of pure gold.
But it's said to be this, like, one of the first, like, naturally occurring, like, ardent settlements. It was, like, the very first one that they really settled into and, like, made their home. So it's got a lot of valuable old lore and books and whispers, and it tells a story.
What did the Shanklings say about settlements that have been surrounded by chains? If you remember the grove, as you guys got closer, you could see chains strung from tree to tree. What did the Shanklings...
Special word, or is it just...
No, they're just chains.
Here,
What did you think it was?
image loading.
My brain went to, like, fast food chains.
Wow.
Twisted trees with a McDonald's and a Burger King sitting
Ah, the Grove of Burger King.
Yeah.
Here, our ruler, Wendy. Anyway, what does a grove surrounded by chains usually indicate?
Hostile Shanklings.
Hostile.
Oh.
Shanklings specifically?
Yes. It's a marking of territory for the Shanklings who have betrayed their ancestors.
So people who
Ancestors.
the people who have fled like a tall shanks and like found their own settlement and then they surrounded it with chains.
Surrounded it with chains.
How dare you go off on your own?
How dare
So
you.
it's a way of protecting themselves, not a way of like trapping people inside.
It's a way of protecting themselves and warding off people.
I see. Okay.
Go away.
Here, there's another picture. As you're getting closer and you're coming in amongst these trees, what, Charybdis, do you see here that indicates that there's potentially danger nearby? You don't have to pick something out of the picture, but based on what you know about what we've said about this, what this place is, and what you're seeing and what you're imagining, and when you get into the grove, I'm going to say the ground level gets lower. So the grove is up, but the actual like ground is kind of a dipped valley kind of space inside of this, so it's lower. What do you see here that says, oh, this could mean pinwolves, or this could mean a leviathan nest, or what do you see? And you can add something to it, like, oh, all the leaves are coated with this black gunk that means the oil crow has been through here.
There's rusted blood on like some of the trees and chains.
All right, subtlety is gone.
It has so much iron in it that it has rusted.
So you initially see the chains and it looks like there's rust on the chains, but then you realize that same stains are on the trees and like, well,
I have like a faint memory of what like makes those, but I can't picture anything, but there is something vaguely dangerous.
I have a question. Is this memory relating to what killed all of your crew?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Is this the creature that like almost like your brain is like, nope, we can't remember that because that was the thing that got rid of our family.
Hard moment.
Yeah.
It didn't kill my crew, but I do faintly remember a arm landing on the deck, correlating with the rest.
So the idea of being surrounded by like trees or something that have been splashed with blood and the blood is dried and gone sort of rusty. Okay. All right. Cool.
One of my crew lost him.
So sunset light coming down through these trees, mixed feelings perhaps about some eagerness I'm sensing from over here. Some hesitance over here, some downright like vibes. So you can pull up here and anchor at any point, really. It's not difficult. And given that your ship is as maneuverable as it is, getting in here is not as complicated as it would be if you were doing like a saw prow or something like that. So I'm not even going to make you roll right now.
We got legs, baby.
What do you want to do while you still have some daylight?
Vanguard.
Okay. Fair enough.
Corey is probably gonna go and just like scope out the immediate area, not get too far, because she knows if she goes in, she'll be in there for a bit, exploring. So she is probably just going and, taking a look around, just like the docking area,
Do you have delve? Does anybody have delve?
No, I don't have delve.
No.
Okay.
Yikes.
That's great.
No, it's fine. It's more for ruins and that kind of thing. It would apply here, but it doesn't have to apply. So if you're going to go poke around and look, what do you think would make the most sense? So looking for an edge, a skill, and if you have any aspects that apply to this kind of activity, that would give you possibly an advantage.
Instinct?
Sense, intuition, and reaction, sure, if you're just kind of going with your gut.
Maybe
Tides is exploration.
Okay, then that works too. The only thing I can think of that might apply there, I have one in harvest.
Sure.
I also have one in study.
That would work too.
Oh, wavewalk?
Discover, record, interpret, decipher, determine patterns and flows. Sure. And obviously vault or wavewalk is an easy way to get around here, but that's not really, you're trying to see what you can find. I think study, if you're looking to see about just getting a deep vibe check on the place, is probably
study and instinct, probably.
Study and instinct, or I would say study and tides.
Study and tides. Okay.
Yeah. Do you have any? So what kind of stuff do you have?
What kind of stuff?
Like aspects.
I don't think I have any aspects for this. Most of my aspects give me things. Like my long coat is resisting certain types of damage. I have my fox, which I can mark for a resource. I have a scarf that makes me immune to bad air spores, a short spear that does damage. I have a bait bandolier for leviathans in case that's a problemo, and I have a trait that's hydrodactive for language. So nothing that would really help with this.
Say that. Adapted for
Yeah, I can mark it to learn a little bit in the language.
You could still use that as an advantage if there's any kind of written stuff that you find here.
Mm-hmm.
So you could still sort of have that as an advantage. I'm actually going to give you one also. Yeah, I might give you one for that. But the other thing that helps is getting off the ship. You've got all those rig ropes and stuff like that for swinging over to the nearest platform. And from there, using the chains and that kind of thing. So roll 3.
What happened to the ship?
Sean, I need 2 dice.
What happened to the what, Zoe?
What happened? What happened to the ship that Kaylee messed up very badly in signaling to?
They just
They ran off.
left.
They ran off.
652. Right, it says.
What do you? So you're looking for just.
I'm just looking to see like what's in the immediate area to get a little hint of what's to come. I don't like that face.
Okay. So yeah, with that 6, we can go with that. So yeah, you end up like looking, and there's actually like old Chthonic etched into some of the links of chain, some of the bigger links. Chthonic is
Yeah, I don't have it.
no, but you have the skill that lets you understand little bits and bobs of their languages.
Okay, so I should mark that then.
You don't need to mark it for right now. Okay. There's a thing that you can do where you can mark it to learn a language. You understand that? But it also just exists as an aspect that is true for you. You're good at picking up little bits and bobs of language.
Oh, I see.
You just have a knack for picking up a little bit of a language.
I see.
You look at this and you're like, okay, that's kind of like, because Chthonic is the oldest ardent language. It's from below. The reason they call it Chthonic is because Chthonic means from the underworld, the old world, from underneath the eaves. And there's words and stuff etched into these things. I'm going to give you the whisper, a hint of what's to come.
Oh, let's go. Can I have a pencil, please? Woo!
So you pick up that whisper drifting through the branches. And also, if you want to, you can mark on your spring fox. What does that thing let you do?
So I can mark it to create a resource hunter's offering.
Okay. So it would go under specimens.
Specimens.
Which means probably used for food and that kind of thing.
Fun.
If you want, hunter's offering, you could the fox, but you got to mark one of the. You put one.
I just want to hurt it.
No. It's just a slash. How long is the track on the thing? So you put a slash through one. It could be fixed with recovery, that kind of thing. But if you want, you can pick up a specimen that she could use for cooking. She could use for tend. Anything.
No,
like
that would make sense if I'm looking around and my fox goes.
Sean,
I'll do it.
What does the fox find?
Someone gets to decide that.
Zoe, what does the fox find?
Why should Kaylee decide? She's the one who wants the
I don't want the solution to come to. She gets the solution, so
The
somebody else
sound is
goes.
coming from inside the house.
Is it like a bird? Okay, let's pick this.
A bird.
Flying or crawling or slithering?
An egg.
Flying, crawling, slithering, or stationary? Fine.
Stationary, what do you mean?
Stationary, not moving.
Can I?
Sean, if you have a thing, go.
An egg of something that I vaguely remember.
So like, okay, so an egg. Avian, lizard, or insect. They're all going to be the same size.
Oh gosh. Lizard.
All right, so some kind of...
Withered.
So a thicker, leatherier, like squishier egg. Think of like Dungeon Meshi, like some of the eggs that they had weren't like hard, cracky eggs. They were like soft.
I know what a lizard egg looks like.
So yeah, lizard egg. That's what the fox brings you.
Okay.
That's what the fox brings you.
Zoe, what are you doing out here while this stuff is going on? Write that down under specimens.
got it.
Thank you. First of all, if you want, you can mark your squirrel to do something. If I'm not your squirrel, your
Ferret.
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 Oh, bark ferret. You want to have your bark ferret do that?
Ferret.
Bark peeling ferret. Mark or use a task to gain an insect specimen. So if you want, you can mark him to get an insect specimen, or you can say, what I'm doing right now is just I'm following my guy around and doing it, and that way you don't have to mark him. You can just say that your whole time is being spent working with the ferret to get the insect specimens.
Just probably like play little games with my squirrel.
Do you want the squirrel to gather you a specimen?
No.
At all?
I just want to play silly little games.
So you don't want to leave the ship or look around or anything?
Not really, no. Just kind of want to play little games with my squirrel. Just want to play tic-tac-toe squirrel.
Tic-tac-toe with your squirrel, your ferret.
You win every time.
Actually,
No, he's
sadly, lots of ties.
Cat.
No, my ferret is actually quite smart. Did I ever give him a name?
I don't know, does it?
Guys, you'll
Wait.
never guess what my fox is.
Neil.
Yeah.
Shockingly, he nailed it. He nailed Neil.
No.
You know what? We've run through 100 versions of the same fox name.
Okay.
Same.
Sean,
Will be the same.
what are you doing? You have hack. You could use hack to try to remember what it was that maybe had been in here, or you can use hack to go and gather up specimens. Or do you have salvage?
Yes, doing some.
Yeah, you could also get salvage and like salvage a bunch of the chains or something, and the wood from the platforms and stuff.
I'm
Useful.
That could be super useful. Yeah, you can use it for repairs and stuff.
what where is the cocoon located? Is it like visible?
No, it's probably in the space. It's in the space that's between the crab and the house. Like it's covered by it's protected by the house, and it's on the crab shell. Like probably near where the crab meets the house, or just inside or something like that. So it's protected by the house, and it's it's in the building's basement, because it's
Okay.
going to be down in the building, close enough to be down on the.
I'm just gonna sit on the forehead of the crab and try very hard to remember,
Okay.
while also doing my best to look out.
Do you want to roll hunt or hack? If you roll hack, I'll let you do it, but I'm going to have you cut.
Yeah, hunt would be better if you're trying to remember like this monster.
It depends. What's your hunt at?
2,
2. What's your hack at?
3.
Okay.
Where is whispers? Where do they put whispers?
Say more.
I feel like woken to thought would be pretty good for that.
Absolutely. So what you can do, you can use the whisper as just a basic advantage and give yourself an extra dice, or you can basically whisper the whisper and give yourself an automatic twist even if you don't roll a double. I will let you decide after you roll. If you want to do it for a twist, you can choose to add it after the fact, because you might get a double anyway, in which case the whisper's kind of blown. And the twist gives you an extra benefit in addition to what I would tell you.
Hey, so
Roll first.
2 dice.
Okay, so what do you roll? What do you want to do? Do you want to do hack with a cut or hunt without a cut? Cut means you remove your best roll, your best die.
Oh,
But you'll roll more dice if you do hack.
hunt.
Okay, so 2 for hunt. What edge do you want to use? Probably. Do you have tides?
Yes.
Okay.
We all have tides.
Yeah, probably tides then.
Tides for all.
So tide is 1. 2 for hunt. Do you have any aspects that might have to do with beast fighting?
No.
You have a cannon and a jaggery. How do you think that you don't have something that has to do with beast fighting? You know, sometimes it's muscle memory and like holding the blade, or thinking about the cannon or something reminds you
I
of
hold
the
the
fight.
blade. I hold the jaggery to my chest and start it.
Okay. So this maybe is connected to something having to do with the blade.
Oh, that's actually really cool because it's like the rumble of it. It's like not about the sword, it's about like the rumble of your own engine.
And the sound, the feel of it, the vibration of it. You actually hear him start up his blade, and you quickly look back to make sure it's not because he sees something he needs to fight. He's just turning it on.
I'm basically just sitting crisscross applesauce with my blades
Right?
in my
Our
chest
business being weird as shit again.
So you guys, again,
and glowing in your direction.
mostly I want to mention this because you guys can find ways. So this is what I was trying to say, Kaylee, with regards to your fox. Like you can mark it to do whatever the thing says you can do, but it also just exists as a thing that's true about you. Okay. So you've got your spore scarf. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's say you're going, okay, I need to communicate with these guys. I'm going to use instinct and signal, and that's only 2 dice. Crap. And I'm going to get my spore scarf off because it's super colorful and stuff, and I'm going to use that and wave it around and take an extra dice as an advantage for the spore scarf. It can just be a cool thing that gives you an advantage because you've spent the time to have it as an aspect. Okay, he's using his sword not because it does the damage, but because it has to do with fighting creatures, and he's trying to remember what this whole thing is.
Okay,
right?
so that's 2 for hunt, 1 for tides, and then 1 because I'm holding the jaggery.
Yes. So that's roll 4, and you're trying to remember what it is, like trying to jog your memory, basically trying to remember what the heck.
Who's that Pokemon?
Who's that Pokemon?
It's Pikachu.
It's Clefairy!
1, 3, 1, 2. I am gonna.
1, 3, 1, 2.
Oh, you got double ones?
What was the whisper?
woken to thought, but I haven't used it yet.
Woken to thought. Yeah, you didn't use it yet. So there's a mix here, Sean. You mentioned the rust on the chains and the rust on the trees. The trees you actually see as you're looking at them and trying to remember. There's where the spray is at. You're seeing damage to the tree itself, like these holes bored into the tree, which is crazy because these are ironwoods. And
Like strong.
what's that?
Which are like strong.
They're ridiculously strong. So having something that can
Wrote it with this.
no, these look like they've been drilled.
Oh God, it's a woodpecker.
Actually,
I was just thinking about the Leviathan woodpecker.
We had a long conversation.
Guys,
on-
Leviathan termite.
Oh dear
Oh
God.
wait, no, we found like lizard egg.
what you think the holes in the tree are the marks of thrumming birds. They're big. They're like the size of like hang gliders or something like that. And they have beaks like that are just diamond sharp. And they tend to go after. They want the sap inside the tree. That's what they're going after. Like hummingbirds, they're going after nectar, except they're the size of gliders, beaks of diamond, and they go into the trees. But that doesn't make any sense because the trees wouldn't bleed like that. That's blood that's like something got, you think, drug up there into the holes. Like maybe something's, and then you hear this cackling sound
I'm hoping for a
What
fight.
is this thing?
echoing out of one of the holes.
I stopped my tic-tac.
So I need you to come over here and look. You hear this cackling. And it's not really a human laugh. It's a thing, it's like hyenas. You know, it sounds like laughter, except it really isn't. And it's
Yeah.
more like if hyenas were like smoked a lot of unfiltered cigarettes. What do you do or say when you recognize that sound coming out of one of the thrumming bird holes?
At first,
Because they've turned it into a nest.
I remember again the feeling of an arm dropping onto the deck. So that's one.
Mm-hmm.
Two, I make a very loud ship horn sound, which we have established as "Get back here now."
I was just about to win my correctness. I was just about to win that game. It was so
Well,
close.
she's
And then I unlock the compartment for the cannon.
And you hear the sound, which he's making just by opening his mouth and just like this. And it's just
No, it's just coming out of the eyes,
fine.
the eye holes.
Um,
I don't have.
You turn. He's standing up and pulling open his cannon thing, and his sword's revving up. What do you tell Saturnidae? What should the boat be? What should the ship be doing right now?
Run. Skedaddle.
Okay, I'm gonna need you to roll. First of all, actually, you. Well, no. We'll start with the ship. I need you to maneuver the ship. I need you to roll the ship's tilt.
Hey, we've got a lot of that.
It's our job. Queen crab.
Where are we going?
So the ship is turning and leaving.
Away. Away.
What mysterious cackling coming from a hole in the bloody tree?
And then it's joined by like, you know, the Lion King thing where the hyenas are emerging out of the shadows in the elephant graveyard. Mm-hmm. Okay, take that, but make it more like crow call, and then these things come crawling out of the one of the holes in the side of one of the.
Look.
I'm scared to look. I'm scared.
Like,
It's fine. It's just a whole.
You see Charybdis point, and you turn, and there's like 3 or 4 of these things like basically prowl crawling out of this big hole in the side of the tree up above.
Can you sign laughing knives for me?
Hey, do I roll how many dice the track length
Laughing.
is?
Tilt is 5. You roll 5 dice.
Let's go.
I would like to repeatedly start like just
Are these
getting.
things weak to fire?
I mean,
Fire is illegal. It is banned in everywhere.
everything's. If you start a fire here, it's likely going to reach. Remember,
Forgot.
the place is super, super. What kind of whispers do you have?
New horizon and a hint of what's to come.
Oh boy!
Double 6.
That's a lot of tilt.
And no.
Okay, for right now, you put the ship in perfect, like, position for whatever it is that you want to do.
So y'all left me. I'm on the island still.
You're up in the walkways you're on like a chain ropes course.
Okay.
You're not away. They didn't leave.
We're getting ready to leave, so I recommend hurrying.
Cannon. What does the cannon do?
Long range blast damage.
Long range blast damage.
Increased impact while targeting a horde or swarm.
Would this count?
Yes.
Okay, so what do I do for this?
Okay, so you roll what edge would you use for flip over. What edge would you use for
What edges do you have, by the way? Just
Iron instinct and of course, who could forget tides?
probably instinct. So if you look at the
Iron is poise, determination, and willpower.
Can I assist his cannon fire by being like, that's only a hint of what's to come?
does it say?
Want to yell it?
Yeah, you probably don't want to yell it.
Are you sure?
No.
Are you
actually,
sure that's not what I want to do?
I've got a thing that I would like to do, just let me do the thing. Please.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
He's still figuring stuff out too.
Yep, I'm trying to. I want to know. I want to know the rules. I really, really do. But at the same time, I also want to.
Oh, cool thing.
I don't want to forget to play the game. You know.
Yeah.
Fine line. Fine line.
It is a fine line, especially when we're all still trying to figure this out. And, you know, one of the reasons that we record these things is because I like to show these games to other people and kind of explain them to everybody. I had a friend who said, like, you know, people are always like, why are your actual plays so crappy looking? It's not, they weren't talking about mine, but they could have been talking about mine. But he does a similar kind of thing, and they're not
they're not winning YouTube's choice.
they're not the critical role guys or anything like that. I am the video of the handheld camera of the dad in the garage showing you how to change your oil. Not super pretty, but the video that people go to. And I like being able to show people how the games work. So, whispers, words with souls. Whispers change reality when they're spoken, and some even have wills of their own, but you can catch them in a bottle and study them if you need to.
We don't, actually.
So you can use whispers to discover secret information related to their wording by whispering them under your breath. Twist the narrative of the world in your favor by speaking them aloud, which allows you to create a twist related to the whisper. Okay.
That would probably be...
Force a change by shouting them, creating a high-impact twist that's completely out of your control.
Maybe I just say it.
Okay. So pause on that. So everybody remember, when he did the thing where he was trying to remember, he ended up with the twist because he had double ones.
Yes.
Zoe also got a twist on her maneuvering. So we have a couple of twists I want to acknowledge here. The twist I'm going to do with yours is Karshaw gets a free shot with the Viper's Tooth.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, that'll come after yours. The twist. So he he was trying to figure out what was going on here, and he ended up getting kind of surprised by these vulture things. Okay, but what's a twist? Maybe you do remember something.
A weakness.
What's a
weakness? Would
well, it doesn't have to be related to this. It could be just a twist. Like you do remember something. Oh! Help me out. You remember something. You do remember something from the time before. Either your anchored time or your time as a ship. So the spirit that came to you, because you're an anchored spirit, or your time as a ship, you remember something. It's just not relevant to this. So you had a flashback and kind of like, but what was it? Like what did it have to do with? Taking pictures from the writer's room here.
I have, for the first time in a very long time, I remember the face of one of my crew members.
More?
Oh.
Can I just give...
And they look like... you were saying, at one point in time, I remember you saying something like one of your, like, people from your clan were people who were on him when he was a ship.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
So, what's your scarf? Tell me more about your scarf.
So the scarf is like woven. It is a timepiece. It is a writing of history in itself. Because this thing has been beaten 7 ways to Sunday. There are parts of it that are patched with like sewn on knitted squares. There are parts of it that have been re-crocheted together. It's kind of knit, it's kind of crochet. There's tassels at the end, but also not really because they're kind of falling apart, but it's this like woven kind of
that can't be
wool.
removed.
Yeah, there's a couple stains, a couple spots, you know, a couple like chunky, like crusty bits.
What bloodline were you thinking?
I do not know. I just wanted to give a face.
Was it an ardent?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's see that.
You find the face for us, but here's what I'm going to throw out there. The person that you remember that used to be a crew, either it's somebody that you remember, a crewmate of your ardent spirit that you have anchored to you, or it could have been a crew when you were a ship. You don't maybe even remember, but it was an ardent. You can find the face to show us, but they're wearing
That scarf.
Petrichor's scarf.
A newer version.
Yeah, a nicer, cleaner, less packed version of Petrichor's scarf. Slightly.
Maybe one less blood stain.
Yeah, but a more recent thing of, so you remember something about
Tassels.
either a peer or a crew member that was wearing Petrichor. I don't want to have so much trouble remember your name right now. Petrichor scarf.
I keep almost going Chris when I go to say Corey.
Yeah,
I have too many C names.
I'm going to have you roll. No, I'm going to in a second. I'm going to have you roll saws here in a second. I think.
I like to.
No, actually, I'm going to have you. Never mind. Don't worry about it. You.
Yes.
You.
Can I shoot the birds now?
Yes. So, instinct or iron. Iron would be standing strong on the deck. I'm not scared. I'm not freaking out. I'm steady.
No.
Instinct is like I'm just acting and I'm just doing muscle memory.
Yeah, no, I am losing my asport here.
Okay, so
If I could sweat.
instinct,
Yep. That's 2.
and I think that's pretty much it. Do you have any whispers that you want to throw in there for an advantage? She's gonna burn her whisper in a little bit.
So no.
So that's 3.
Here's scrubbing. Okay, double 2s, but I did get a 6.
So a 6 with a twist.
Y'all need to stop twisting and turning like Twister.
Twist is good in this case. So a 6 is great. You blast, like from where you're at, your blast is basically, you see it hitting the wood all the way around that hole that they're emerging from. And obviously they're standing in the hole, so it's hitting there too. You just don't see it there because it's like, oh, you know what it reminds, when we were watching the second movie of Dune, and they were like firing, the flying ships were firing that stuff at the same, it was like, and it was just like going everywhere. That's kind of what your cannon lands like. It has a very distinct smell, the cannon does, because it's a chemical reagent. The way it isn't gunpowder. It's 2 chemical liquids that pour into the chamber behind the shell, and when they react, it's like imagine if you had a gun that was powered by Mentos and diet soda.
Oh, okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the soda's in the thing, and then when you pull the trigger, it injects the Mentos into the thing, and then that expansion blows the thing, but way more violent than that. It's a chemical reaction that blows the projectile out of the barrel.
Okay, Kaylee.
So
Could I have you use a whisper?
Well, let's see what this does first.
the twist, what do we think for the twist, guys? So he fired, good hit, blood spurting on a couple of these things, and they're reeling back and screaming and like flinging bits and bobs at, several of them pull back into the hole. What twist?
So this is a good thing, right?
Yeah, generally speaking, helpful.
Can I get a whisper?
Sean, we need to figure out what happens with this first.
No, that isn't, like, it could be a twist that he learned, that he picks up a whisper off of all what they're screaming.
Oh, I see.
Like he could pick up a whisper off of what they're screaming and stuff. That what do they call them? Vulture? Wretch beaks. Vulture main scavengers.
Maybe I didn't want to see the.
Oh, why get another round? Bleeding eyes. Oh yeah, allow me to.
So one of them, you basically gets the full brunt of your shot and drops. Okay. Okay, and they're kind of on the lip of the thing, and they're starting to slip over, and several of the other ones are starting to retreat. But when they see that body starting to slip over, they run back to it. They scramble back over there to it on all fours, like, and you're like, for a second, you think that they're going to try to rescue their comrade.
No, they just eat them.
No, they don't. They don't stop and eat him in the middle of this. Of course not. That would be ridiculous. What they do is tear it apart to carry chunks of the body with them to take to do something with later once they escape.
unarmed.
Delicious.
Pick up the whisper, waste not, want not.
Waste not, want not. Wow.
If it ain't,
Kaylee, if you want to, you can throw this whisper in there. A view of things to come. If you spoke it, you could drive them off because you could basically give them this fearful vision of what's to come, and they would flee out of this area entirely. They would
Flay.
They would flay the.
I want to do that.
Kaylee,
That was what I was gonna suggest.
So describe this to me. When you speak this thing out into the grove, like what do you say? It can be part of a larger sentence or something like that. You know, you could even rhyme.
I think what she says is, watch them scramble, watch them run. That is just a taste of what's to come.
I love it. So
I'm just exploiting.
So she's got the spear out and kind of pointing out, like, watch them scramble, watch them run. That's just and when you say the taste of what's to come, the echo like goes out through the grove, and they scream and cower. It's like Gollum hiding from the eye, like, okay, and then you see them kind of scrambling off. There's way more of them than you thought there were, and they're pouring out of holes and stuff like that, scrambling along the chains and the tree branches and stuff, and basically fleeing the grove.
watch
Give me
this.
pencil.
So she speaks that whisper, and there's 3 levels you can use the whisper. You can whisper it and say, taste of what's to come, and get some, maybe learn a secret. She could find out something that maybe get a vision of what's you'll find a clue of what's coming. Okay. She speaks it, and she's giving a twist. She's putting a vision in their head of what's going to happen to them right after they just got shot by a cannon. And they're thinking, oh my God, we're all going to die.
So they're running.
And if you shouted it,
Watch them scramble.
you might make what's about to happen to them by the shout. Like they suddenly have wounds open up on their body from cannon fire, even though there hasn't been any cannon fire.
Watch them scramble.
But also you don't control it at that level, and lots of bad things could happen from that.
In character, I didn't know you were a lyricist.
Oh, can I say?
Except
You're welcome.
That sounds like a you flaw.
Okay. Right. So you have, with that whisper, essentially made safe the grove for at least
Woo! Let's go.
because she's playing off of your cannon fire. So you harmed them. Okay. But then
You
she's
harmed them
like,
physically. I harmed them.
you made them believe that
emotional.
you made them believe that that what had just happened to them would keep happening until they were no more and they fled.
Damn, whispers go crazy.
Whispers are the best, which is why it's worth like going out here and like, you know, poking around, because Kaylee established in the fiction, Zoe, that this is a place where people came to find whispers. So if you want to go out and do a study, which you have at a decent level, you might be able to pick up a cool whisper.
Hey, I got a cool whisper and I immediately used it.
She's thrashing over there. Zoe, you want to go poking around and see if you can find anything useful as well, or no?
Yeah.
Like, that was cool. I want one of those.
I mean, my whispers are a vibrant riot and a spit on the rise. Those are not cool.
A vibrant riot?
Riot is
Cool as
amazing.
shit.
You could do a bloom tide with Vibrant Riot if you shouted it. You don't what? Wait, let her.
I don't think it's cool.
Well, give it to me.
It's as cool as you want to make it. I mean, a spit on the rise can literally, you know, 3 mass. If you shouted a spit on the rise, you could if you spoke a spit. If you whispered a spit on the rise, the whisper would tell you a secret about how to find a new uninhabited spit. Okay. If you said it, you could basically find it, like as you're sailing along, you would basically just stumble upon it. If you shout it, you can literally drag one up out of the thrash and make it happen. You can literally pull Atlantis out
It
of
could be named after me, and then one of my goals would be accomplished.
and then when your goals could
The
become.
Eiffel Tower just rises and just keeps rising for a solid 5 minutes.
Yeah, but I just think my things, I would enjoy some things that seem cooler to my 10-year-old brain.
Damn, I love me a good whisper. Those things rock.
All right, so roll. If you're going to go out and poke around the thing, I think, what's your tides? You have tides at 1. What's your study? Do you have any aspects that might help you with this kind of thing? Roll a 3.
5, 4, 6.
Damn,
You
girl.
guys are blessed, and I shouldn't have said that.
Yep, you've ruined it. Let Dad finish.
Where are you at in this? Look at the picture of the place. Where are you at?
I mean,
Look at that picture there, or this one that I'm about to show you. So looking at that, where are you when you get inspiration or discover something? Like a platform, some sort of weird cage hanging up on there? Is there a hut hidden way up in the top levels of the, like, where are you at when you get this little phrase with a soul finds you?
can I ping it on this?
If you want to, sure.
I don't know what that is, but I think it's like a room or something.
Dangling little box. It only has like little scraps of paper and stuff in it now, but it was sort of like what you guess might have been sort of a hanging version of a little like neighborhood lending, like what do they call those things? Little mini libraries? Free libraries? Little free libraries.
Free little libraries.
It's like it looks like it was like a shelves or something like that was being held up.
Education, let's go.
But there's only little scraps of paper in there.
Do one of the scraps of paper have a whisper on it? Perhaps.
Perchance.
So how this little framework thing is built, it's actually like rose stems, it looks like somebody took apart a rose bush and took all of the straight stems of a rose bush and wove them together, top and bottom. So there's roses along the top, so it's smooth on the inside. On the outside, it's thorns. And so you got to be really careful as you're approaching it because it's swinging. So if you're not careful as you're coming, and you're sure this is meant to be some sort of symbolic thing, because like it's knowledge. You want the knowledge, but you have to be careful approaching the knowledge because the knowledge is completely surrounded by this thing that if you just go blundering into it will hurt you. Okay.
Truth hurts.
Secrets wrapped in thorns.
Write it down.
Is the whisper that you pick up from this. Write down under whisper. Secrets wrapped in thorns.
Is that sufficient? Good.
Cool. Isn't that awesome?
I can figure out how to use that whisper to get another whisper.
It just lets you exchange them. Sure.
It's just like a reroll.
All right. Is somebody keeping watch, or are you guys gonna have Karshaw keep watch while you guys sleep?
Alright, you know what? I'm keeping watch.
You want to keep watch?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
You don't want funny little dreams?
More drama. Let's go.
Okay, so it's time for the.
Karshaw take watch.
He is.
Yeah. Alright.
He'll sleep on the deck tomorrow morning when you guys are sailing the ship along. He'll just sleep in the shade of the gun. What do you dream about, Zoe?
My question is what you don't dream about.
Do you dream about one of your former lives?
Ooh, that's kind of cool.
Like some memory that isn't your memory, but it's one of the other memories?
Maybe.
Have you ever been to the Hanging Manor before?
Yeah. He said yes.
Can I show you what you dream about?
Can I show you what you dream about?
Come here.
What a loaded question.
It's suspended here. In the whole
Wait, I want to see it. The bubble hit.
Oh, that's we're not done looking. It's so neat. It kind of looks like there's cool spots where it's like falling in bright.
Mm-hmm.
So neat.
Okay, that's what you're dreaming about. What are you dreaming
That's
about,
what I
John?
felt when you saw that weird. You know what? That's not what I felt actually.
Shoot. John, do you dream about a person or another ship?
It's a bunch of descriptors vaguely based around like a fight.
You dream of a fight? Are you fighting another ship? Is it like, are you remembering the fight as somebody who is like on the deck or are the deck?
Are the deck.
Okay. Do you remember more clearly one of the people that were fighting for you or the ship that you were fighting?
What would you to assume it's a ship?
Okay, fine. What were you fighting? Okay, it may not have been, you're right, it may not have been a ship.
Leo the Vine and plants, knowing him.
Yes, actually.
Let's go.
The person from before that I just remembered, and the descriptors getting slowly worse for her.
What is a descriptor, Sean? Please explain.
Like just
Oh, like a fight going bad for them?
fighting, ropes, bleeding, stabbed.
Oh, I see. Okay, so you remember you
So
dream
it's more
about
like feelings than like flashes of things
Yeah.
and actual like full
You know, because I didn't
dreams.
have. because I didn't have eyes.
Yeah, I got you. So you're feeling like more like the feeling of her body hitting the deck and then her crawling back up to a sitting position and a standing position and more footwork, more stomping.
Well,
Yeah. Ugh.
I'm leaving now.
Nobody wants to squelch. All right, Kelly, what do you dream about?
She dreams about her grandmother. Her name was Patter.
relatable.
You know, like the patter of rain. And she was like the most decorated, like she just had all the stories, and so she gets dreams / visions sometimes of just memories through her ancestors' eyes. They're very connected in that way. So it's one of those dreams of some miscellaneous adventure her grandmother had. I think it's a particularly rough patch of trees that she's like having to force their ship through, and they're having to like go down the side of the ship and like physically cut branches.
I gotcha. Okay.
Not the same situation, but it's also like it's a dream, and it's also kind of a weird memory, so the colors are off and the smells are strange, and there's also this weird like click-clacking of like crabs. Don't know what that's about.
I'm dreaming.
That is the Wildsea equivalent of your alarm going off midway through a dream.
For some weird reason, whenever she should be able to see the ship, she cannot. Like, it's just not there.
But you do.
Gotcha.
But
Okay.
there is a whirring of a chainsaw.
I love all of that. That's great. Dawn is early to get up, but none of you rested so very well that it doesn't feel like a good time to get moving again. As you, who's setting out? Who's navigating and who's on watch?
I get to be on watch.
Okay.
I get to do the charge and whisper thing. It's my turn.
Charge a whisper thing?
Charge
and
and
whisper thing? Okay.
Are we done at the Grove of Twisted Trees already?
You can come back to it.
Oh, I thought it disappeared.
We went there. We
You have a chart to it now.
Well, I thought it was like magic, so it would go away.
At the helm, are you going to cut a path or forge ahead? If you forge ahead, you can probably make it to where the current chart shows the Hanging Manor. You could probably make it there by noon.
We should forge ahead then.
Okay. Swift but rough passage. Sean, this means that when the watch roll is made, the ship will usually blunder into an encounter, or rather than being able to avoid it. But since you have a chart of the area, you can do one of two things. You can take a chart, add a whisper, and interpret the combination of those two, and you make a discovery. Or you may not want to do that because you know we're about to come to the manor. Or you roll 2d6. You normally would only roll 1d6. You roll 2d6, and you get to pick the highest roll because you have an extra dice to roll because you have a chart of the area.
I'll tell Dad.
Okay. You gonna roll? Yeah. 2d6.
2 and a 6.
2 and a 6.
All right. Roll one more d6 for me. Zoe, you can add this to your chart. About halfway there, what would if you were going at a normal rate of speed, this would be where you were crossing at about noon. You see a tall shank, okay? The tall shanks are the ones that just tower up above the normal. You know what it is. You're a shankling, all right? There's a tall shank, completely uninhabited. Or at least uninhabited by sentient people.
Ooh, I've got a whisper.
Uninhabited tall shank with its bark painted with the same murals as you saw around Three Masks. So people have been here before, but no one's here now. It's a currently uninhabited tall shank. It could be settled. It could be turned into a trading junction. It could be a lot of things. So you can mark it on your chart, and if you want, write down a chart. Under your charts, write down uninhabited sketch of a tall shank. You coming to another like grove in the distance, a rise, a thicket. Call it a thicket.
Call it a thicket.
Of trees.
Yeah, I can't see.
And as you're closing in closer to this, you start to see the glint of, again, it's almost like it's almost like deja vu, because you're seeing this thicket of trees. You're seeing chains glinting in the sunlight as you're coming in towards not sunset, but late afternoon, as you're coming in closer, and you hear Saturni going, "Oh, this place. Oh, yeah."
Explain, America, explain.
And you can see the in the shadows of the trees, the non-organic squarish shapes of walls and stuff hidden up underneath the eaves of the trees as you come in closer.
The eaves of the trees.
What you spot before that is right in front of the building, as you're getting close enough to almost be able to see it, anchored to one of the branches near the manor is a ship that appears to have been ransacked a little bit. I got a picture for you here on the Roll20.
It's the one on Scissor!
Oh shit!
And that's actually Carshot calling out, "That's the scissor!"
Oh boy, that looks
Oh, the crate! Oh, what happened? So it's kind of between you and the manor, and then above it, hanging up, it really is truly the Hanging Manor, because it's been, well, I'll just show you.
That's a powerful line. Wanna know why it's
Whoa.
Do you wanna know why it's called the Hanging Manor?
Oh.
It's literally been chained and hung from the branches of the trees overhead.
That's so cool.
It's swaying ever so slightly as the trees sway in the wind.
Epic.
That's probably what that. As I say,
It's about
that's probably about.
it's about 400 or 500 yards away. The ship is closer.
We should check out the ship first.
How much cargo space do we have?
Let's hope there's people on there first.
All right. So first of all, thank you guys. Very good. We will stop there with the ship right in front of us, needing to be looked at, and the Hanging Manor hanging overhead.
Medicine.
Let's see ourselves off here with a little tune.
Yes.
Can we do that?
Better be better than Wallerman.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe.
Perhaps.
Perhaps. Or maybe haps.
Perchance.
Let's see.